Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
I know that this is intended to be a kind of 30,000-foot view, year-end review, but I have to ask you about two issues of the day, pressing issues of the day. One, what can you tell us about the deal that's been struck with Venezuela to release detained Americans? And two, at the UN Security Council, maybe right now, if there hasn't been another delay, or soon, there will be a vote on this Israel-Gaza resolution. What will it take, or what does the United States need to see in such a resolution for it not to veto it? And if that can't be done, and you end up vetoing it, aren't you not concerned that the number 3 priority that you mentioned in your opening, the coalition building, will be damaged, very badly damaged? The U.S. is already isolated internationally on this issue, and another veto. Well, aren't you not concerned that another veto will further isolate you? Thanks.
Thanks, Matt. So on Venezuela, let me say first this, and you've heard me say this before. We have no higher priority than doing everything we possibly can to bring our fellow citizens out of harm's way, to make sure that they're safe and secure if they get into trouble in one way or another overseas, including if they're arbitrarily detained. And as you know, we have secured the release over the past couple of years of nearly 3 dozen Americans who were arbitrarily detained. That is work that continues every single day in any place around the world where Americans are being wrongfully imprisoned or detained. So this has been a priority for us broadly. It's also been a priority when it comes to Venezuela. And we want to make sure that our fellow Americans are released. We are also focused on political prisoners in Venezuela and trying to ensure their release. So what I can say in this moment is this. We have a lot of work going on both of those fronts right now, and we hope to have some good news to share probably later today. But for now, that's what I can share with you. On the UN Security Council vote, you're right, this is going on as we gather here. We continue to engage extensively and constructively with a number of countries to try to resolve some of the outstanding issues in the Security Council resolution. The purpose of the resolution, as stated by the countries that put it forward, is to facilitate and help expand humanitarian assistance that's getting into Gaza, and we fully support that. In fact, the United States, from day one, has, I would argue, done more than any other country to make sure that that could happen. My first trip to Israel and to the region after October 7th, we focused on getting an agreement to start getting humanitarian assistance into Gaza. And a few days later, that started with the opening of Rafah. That was necessary, but very much insufficient. We've been working ever since to expand that. Just in the last couple of days, you've seen, again, as a result of work that many of us have done over the last several weeks, Kerem Shalom opening, so that not only are goods inspected at Kerem Shalom, which increases the capacity of the ability to get goods into Gaza, but now goods are going directly from and through Kerem Shalom into Gaza. In addition, we have commercial products going in, not just humanitarian assistance. We've made sure that we have a sustained delivery of fuel at levels that the humanitarian community tells us are necessary to make sure that desalination plants, sewage systems, telecoms, trucks, hospitals can be powered and function. And of course, we continue to work on this every day. For example, making sure that once assistance gets into Gaza, it can actually move around and be distributed safely and securely with predictable routes, times, access. So we've been at the forefront of all of these efforts. And we want to make sure that the resolution in what it calls for and requires actually advances that effort and doesn't do anything that could actually hurt the delivery of humanitarian assistance, make it more complicated. That's what we're focused on. We're engaged, as I said, in very good faith with other countries. We've been working this intensely. I've been on the phones about this for the last couple of days. Linda Thomas Greenfield, of course, in New York, has been leading our efforts. So I hope we can get to a good place. To the last part of your question, let me say this. Look, what I have seen from day one is that countries throughout the region, as well as countries around the world, want to work with us and are looking for American leadership in this crisis. Even countries that may disagree with us on certain issues that have come to the fore. That's been a common refrain. I've been not only in the region multiple times and traveled to not just Israel, but to virtually all of our Arab partners and others, including Turkey. We've been on the phones constantly, including this week with all of our Arab partners. And the common refrain is they are looking for American leadership, and we're working to provide that.